It is absolutely worth watching.
Spoiler alert!
Completely.
Spoiler alert!
So, okay, for that, let's backtrack. First off, sorry.
We all saw it coming.
Yeah.
No, we did not see it coming. That's the whole thing.
Well,
we saw it coming as of last week. If you watched last week.
Yeah, we didn't think we saw it coming until last week.
Yeah.
But then we saw it coming. But yes, Don, absolutely watch it.
So, for those who... So, if you haven't been watching since the season finale of last time, it's a complete arc, and it's Daniel Bryan. So, like we were saying, spoiler alert, my bad. It is true. Ash is a Vogue. We are now 1-1 with the internets because we also got something else verified from last week.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that later. I mean, there's other things that we've gotten right over the course of the series, like that they were indeed going to the mirror universe.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, no, they weren't."
No, they weren't. They're not going to do it. They're there.
You know what? I feel so rude. Where are my manners? Hi there. Welcome to the Riker maneuver.
Yeah, how dare you not introduce?
How dare we introduce?
I mean, we know who we are.
In the middle.
Hey guys, it's Jordan.
On the loft.
Josh, or Titanfall 2.
And on the rot, we have Sam. Hi, what's up?
And welcome to our bridge.
Welcome to the bridge. Oh wait. What are you guys? What's the roles here? What are the roles?
If I'm the center, I'm the captain, right? Yeah. Look at me. I'm the captain now. Look at me.
Which would have to make me #1, being on the right, which means
I'll take Vice Admiral.
You look like a helmsman. I don't.
I mean, I sure as fuck am not the counselor.
Shut up, Wesley.
Not Vice Admiral. I'm sitting off to the side making sure you guys are doing what I want.
Okay, so with the administration here on the bridge, we're here to talk about the latest episode. And who is the Emperor is the name of that episode.
No, the name of the episode.
The name of the episode is The Wolf Inside.
The name of our episode. Yes. And not even the name of our episode, just the question that I was asking in our title on YouTube is who is the Emperor, because that seemed to be the biggest question.
And that was a pretty
And that question was answered.
That was an awesome answer.
And I was right.
But something else interesting, I was pointing this out while we were watching the episode, and this ties into the answer to the question about whether or not Ash Tyler is actually Vogue, is the name of this episode was The Wolf Inside. In the universe, Vogue's name was
The Firewolf.
The Firewolf. So now that all kind of ties together with him being the wolf, or whatever.
Yeah, the wolf
and now
inside
he's
is
the wolf
the
inside
Firewolf.
of Ash. Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler Ash.
Oh, Firewolf, Ash, Fire, Ash, ha.
Right?
Ha.
Ha 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 ha.
So that's, I mean, that's clever.
Yeah.
It's clever. There's some writer who, like, his entire life was, I want to do this, and he got to do it.
Sam, you're wearing the wrong shirt on Pop Culture Renegades.
You know what? I'm going to rep the swag till I die. I don't even care.
We're all family. It's all the same, sort of, but not.
But not.
We're different.
Are you drinking Mountain Dew?
I am drinking Mountain Dew Game Fuel.
I'm all
Judging you.
Mountain Dew.
Judging you.
I mean, Sam is sucking down the foam from the top of a Corona bottle.
This guy.
I can only stick my tongue in so far, guys.
Whoa! Hell.
Hey. Well,
so anyway,
we've already talked about you.
Let's get into the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, we confirmed Ash, Vogue, same person, different person, all
it's
mashed together. Actually, here, I own Trone. Say Ash is Vogue, Vogue is Ash, Ash is not Vogue, and Vogue is not Ash. That is to shove all of Vogue's innards inside of him.
Well, the thing is, that's what doesn't compute in so much. Was like you put a humanoid who's obviously not going to fit into a sack like us and just stuffed it in and just said, "Here you go."
Yeah, no, I mean that's what they did. They Manchurian it. They ripped Ash open.
Yeah, obviously Klingons are not like the bug from Men in Black.
Yeah,
they can't just like,
Well,
but that explains like they said
they had massive scar tissue around his,
and like scar tissue and
his organs. Yeah,
wouldn't it be easier just to take the brain out and put it in like a corpse host sort of thing? I feel like
you would.
No, because I think you would have to reanimate at that point. And can they reanimate?
I mean, if they're able to shave this dude down and all of his organs and everything else into this compact body. At that point in time, they should probably, maybe we just put him into a host body. I feel like it's a plot problem.
I don't think they can reanimate.
I don't know because like we still don't know like what the actual process was. Like, is it Ash's brain or is it Voke's brain that's in there?
Well, that's it.
It's Voke's aura, his essence, his
right. So why did they need to stick his body in? Like, why couldn't they just implant his thoughts on top of?
It reminds me of a sleeper cell agent.
It's very Manchurian candidate.
And the thing is, with your sleeper cell thing, I mean, you have the overlay, but then he's triggered by a certain phrase.
I don't even think it was certain phraseology at this point. I think it was kind of hearing the Klingon language and certain things.
Yeah. Like it started last week with "What is your name?"
Yeah,
right.
And it's possible that from there it was just everything started breaking down the barriers between Ash and Voke's personality.
Because this week when he was talking to Voke, Voke was talking about the Klingon principles,
right?
And that's when he started to
started triggering him and started seeing all the naked L'Rell.
Oh God, I did not see that again.
Not to go into like minute details. I mean, even if he was like put into his body, there's no indication of scars on the outside whatsoever. With that much
plastic
that was the
surgery
point.
in the 23rd century is damn good.
So they can't.
It's really easy for them to figure it out what happened if there was scarring on the outside.
So they can't figure out the scar tissue on the inside, or was that just?
They did. No, did you actually watch last week?
I did
because
watch
they
last
said
week.
Colbert said last week the reason they got away with it is because when Ash originally came to their ship,
it looked like torture.
It looked like torture, and they didn't do a full scale scan on him.
Okay.
They basically did a quick hey, can you
Yeah. So it was a surface scan.
It was a surface scan. It looked like torture on the surface.
Right.
So they didn't go any further.
Okay.
And his memories of it felt like memories of torture, which
makes
technically
sense.
It was.
Yeah, it makes sense. But now the other question is when we saw L'Rell banging Ash. Was it actually Ash, or was it Vogue? He just had a memory of it as him.
To put it so eloquently, when they made sweet, sweet Klingon love.
I mean,
I want to say it was L'Rell having sex with Vogue in Ash's
just implanted himself on top of it.
There's a lot of weird consent stuff here that makes me so uncomfortable now. Because at first it seemed like Klingon rape. And now we're like, well, no, it was Klingon to Klingon sex, but then he was having sex with Michael, but he's not him. And he was Ash when he got back to Discovery.
No, I think everything was combined together.
Oh, this is mushy.
Yeah,
it's a little mushy. I feel like Vogue is gonna end up not being.
They're gonna pull Vogue out.
Maybe.
They're gonna do an extraction.
I don't think that's possible at this point.
I mean, they've been really coy about how they put Vogue in, so they could, in theory, just take him out.
Or one of those two are gonna go.
Well, but I mean, that depends on if Vogue is actually in there, or if it was Ash that was put on top of Vogue, and it's all Vogue.
Well, no. The thing is, I think one of them are gonna go away. Either it's Vogue
or both.
Wait, what do you mean both?
I think maybe they'll kill both of them because I mean I don't know if you can.
And then who's left?
Can you?
Nobody.
Nothing.
No, neither one.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Ash is how they're going to fix the problem of the continuity in the canon between how Klingons go to looking more human.
Okay.
Because in TOS, if you remember, there was and everyone that's right now about how the Klingons don't look like Klingons. Ash looks like a human.
Okay.
The Klingons in TOS at the beginning, actually, all the way up until the motion picture, looked like humans.
Yeah.
For the most part. So I think this is what's going to be bridging the gap between them.
But this is only 10 years before Kirk, right?
Right.
Yes.
What's the gestation period for Klingons in terms of birthing and moving? Or
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
So,
because it was a disease, not a hereditary.
It was a disease, yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, it was an augment virus that caused that to happen. So what potentially is happening here is that this is the beginning. That they were like, okay, so now they know what's gone wrong. They can't just shove random body parts into a human body. They actually have to paint them to look like humans, because if they do deeper scans, they're going to find all the scarring and all that kind of shit. So I think this is I really think this is how they're trying to get all that together. At least
that makes sense. I don't know if I have an opinion about where this is going to go yet.
But I mean,
I don't know that they're going to touch on it any more in this series than what that just was. They just leave that as a thing.
The thing is, canon necessarily can't stop just at the way that Klingons look. We still have to.
Well, no. I mean, there's a lot of other things that they.
There are
have
a lot
to
of other
fix.
things that they have to fix or touch on before we get to.
Like the spore drive.
Yeah, so the things that everyone's bitching about is A, how the Klingons look. B, how's the spore drive thing, and no one has talked about it in any of the future series. How do
breath security?
Why hasn't Spock ever talked about the fact that he has
a sister?
He has a stepsister, a foster sister, or whatever. And then just the designs of the ships, which the designs of the ships and the technology, I could give two shits about that. That's not a thing that.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
I'm writing that off as like I said in the comments last week to someone else. If they were to time travel on the show, and they went back to 2018, how could you explain away us having cell phones?
Exactly.
Like this here, aesthetically at least. Yes, the internals are not as advanced as the internals of like a tricorder or whatever. But
aesthetically, why does it look so much better than a fucking tricorder?
Exactly.
Why would we go back to something that ugly?
Right. Well, not only something that ugly, but Christmas lights on not Christmas lights, but just like lights and like toggles and buttons on it. When it's clear that you can have a touch screen, even if it is a bigger device because it needs to hold all the other internals, you can have a touch screen thing on it.
Yeah.
Gives you all those steps.
Do you think that in order, because I know that fixing canon's kind of like their thing right now. Do you think that they'll bring in like baby Spock?
No, because there's a book. So somebody commented last week that there is a book that was written as like a companion book, a companion novel, where Spock and Michael go on a mission together, which I haven't read it. It's $1.99 on Kindle, so I probably will read it this week.
Oh yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, right. $2. I'll waste $2 that way. It's more.
It's
more finding the time to read a book.
Is it a full book or is it a comic?
No, it's a book.
Oh wow.
It's I think 300 pages or so.
Oh wow.
Give or take.
I'm not getting through that.
It's definitely a companion novel.
Novel.
It's a companion novel to the series. So yeah, no. Wouldn't be baby Spock. He'd be grown up.
Yeah,
Spock.
because if he
and even so, they
right now he'd be 17.
Yeah, and the episode with her and Sarek, they actually talk about Spock going to Starfleet. So he's older. He's older for sure.
The one where he was injured.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no babies.
Okay. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the world at large here, because there's so much going on in the mirror universe. Death by teleporter, for example. Yes.
Well, I mean, it's not really death by teleporter.
It's not death by teleporter. It's death by deep space.
Yeah,
Fuck you, deep space.
It's like I didn't kill you. The bullet in the fall killed you.
Yeah.
So the same thing. The teleporter is the device that gets them outside to where they
freeze to death because it's space.
Yeah.
And then,
I would assume
Princess
also their
Leia.
chest probably implodes and their eyes.
They needed to be Princess Leia.
And one thing I can appreciate, and it was kind of part of this episode and a little bit of last episode, the way they torture people. It's very reminiscent of TOS, where they had like the basically the torture chamber.
The agonizer.
Yeah, the agonizer where it attacks every nerve. So
it looks so good now, though. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the graphics.
Which I'm sure people will agree.
Favorite parts of both episodes because I feel like this is one whole episode.
It did feel kind of like a long episode, and I wonder if this whole series of Mirror Universe episodes is going to feel like one.
I don't know. Well, how many? I know we were talking about this.
We get at least one more because next week, next week, the preview that we got for Vaulting Ambition is also.
Yeah, right. We saw the Emperor and Michael together.
Like I just want to talk about.
So the next couple of episode titles are Vaulting Ambition, What's Past is Prologue, The War Without, The War Within, and Will You Take My Hand?
So I'm assuming those last three are in the Prime universe.
Yeah.
Just from the name.
Yeah.
What was the next week is
Vaulting Ambition.
And the one after that?
The Past is Prologue. So Vaulting Ambition is definitely in the Mirror Universe, but I feel like it probably will be the last one.
Yeah, I think either at the end of that one or
at the very beginning of the Past is Prologue, they'll go back to Prime.
Yeah. I think anyway.
I like the Mirror Universe design with the golden pauldron.
It's very like Black Panther military.
A lot of jumps. Like I feel like her taking off.
She's the Wesley of this universe.
She's better than Wesley.
No, she's better than Wesley by far. But I'm saying, like, in terms of growth, she's the Wesley. Like, because Wesley came in there as a kid, then he became an ensign, then he became like the helmsman and everything else. Like, she's the.
Well, he became a cadet, then he left for a little while, then he came back, and then he went and joined up with the Traveler, and then he went away.
Yeah.
And then he was randomly at the beginning of Generations. No, First Contact at the wedding or whatever it was, or Nemesis or whatever it was.
Yeah,
which was weird.
I'm just saying, he in terms of growth, she's that person.
What's up?
Ion Trone said, Ash Voke's interaction with Mirror Voke may eventually be what bridges Federation and New Klingon War.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Right?
Maybe. I don't know.
In order for that to happen, when like cool Voke have to jump into the universe, like our universe?
Yeah, regular Voke would have to jump into our universe somehow.
But I guess the question with that is, I mean, I guess we're jumping ahead a little bit now, but that's fine. When the Emperor's ship showed up and blew up the planet, I know they said that the rebellion hadn't finished.
They hadn't finished. Yet. They didn't say who was left and who was gone.
Right. Were there ships that had left, or were they still loading people on? Like how many?
We
ships
don't know.
we don't know if anyone survived or not.
I mean, they were given an hour to evacuate. Then the Emperor's ship just came and blasted everything. First of all, how big? Just random. How big is that ship to just say, "Oh, planet, boom, boom, dead"? Yeah. Like holy shit. Like, and
she's the Emperor, man. So she's got a big
sure,
ship.
but it makes me think like when I think of.
Well, there's also the weapons because the
weapons were
like
huge.
Yeah, there were episodes in TNG where I remember like the Klingons had a weapon that they shot down to some planet and they destroyed the biosphere.
We actually talked about this a couple weeks ago in one of our former episodes of the Riker maneuver, where they had these weapons, the Cobalt weapons, that were so massive in destruction it could rip time and space apart and actually like venture into our world.
Right.
Which that could also be what those were, but just the idea of this one ship, which might be the size of the Dreadnought in J.J. Abrams' universe, just it's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
cool.
Like, I want to see the ship. Like, we
I want to see the ship.
We want to see the ship. I'm really curious as.
I think we will next week.
Like, was that the Defiant? Is she on the Defiant?
But that wasn't the Defiant.
No, it was not. I don't think so.
At least we haven't seen it yet. No.
I think we'll see it next week.
Because the
Defiant, it's a Constitution class ship.
Right. From Enterprise. What was her name? Whatever her name is, that became the Empress in the Enterprise episode. No. She's
thinking about something. He's thinking about different
now. Yeah, I'm talking about an Enterprise.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sato. Hoshi, whatever Hoshi's last name is. So Hoshi became the Empress, and she had the Defiant. So if the Defiant is passed down from Emperor to Emperor, it would make sense that she has.
So like a dynastic.
But I thought it was a different Defiant. I thought we proved that, or we
no. It's not the Defiant from DS9.
Okay.
It's the USS Defiant that went back in time and to the Mirror Universe in Enterprise, the series.
Okay.
The Scott Bakula.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like I'm really curious to see how that all works. And I also want to go to the comments for a section. Anna Miles said that there was so much buildup that she couldn't handle it, but she's happy about it. And like I agree. Like watching all of that buildup to Ash, like finally coming to grips with who he was, and that whole scene with the fight.
Woof.
Gave me so much anxiety just with the back and forth, just watching it. Like I was like, come on, just.
I
do
felt
it
like
already.
that scene in Twilight. Say it, just say it. Vampire.
But I mean, like realistically, who is Harvey Mudd in all this? Just kidding.
So there's an who? What? I mean, what would the Mirror Universe version of Harry Mudd be?
Honest. He'd be honest.
Is he a good guy?
He'd be an honest guy who has one job.
Actually, I think he'd be the same because I feel like he's like the most neutral of neutral people.
Yeah. Like right now, he's like kind of a shitty guy who does even shittier things.
Yeah.
So in the Mirror Universe, he'd be kind of a good guy who does.
He'd just be neutral. He'd be a guy with a job.
Like it would just be him literally looking in the mirror, like, "Oh, you're fabulous." Well,
yeah. What did you guys think about the look of the other aliens that we saw this episode? Because like we've seen.
The Andorians are good.
There were the Andorians. I don't know what the guy that had like the huge fangs on the side of his face. I don't know what race that was.
I didn't see
it was because there were a few different species that were.
Yeah, there were humans. There were Andorians. There were Klingons. There was the guy with the fangs.
Yeah, and then there was
and at least like one more.
Yeah. but they all looked really good.
Well,
it's like the Andorians.
This show is sparing no money.
Oh yeah, It's interesting that it is interesting though that the Klingons are the only ones that they really changed. Like the Andorians definitely look different.
But you still can tell that was an Andorian.
Right. Whereas if you showed me one of these Klingons without telling me that was a Klingon,
I'd be like, it's an alien guy.
It's about damn time. And when I say that, it's like I've been waiting for weird, kooky looking aliens since like episode 1, and it's only now that I'm just like, aliens.
So Saru's not kooky enough looking for you?
No!
but it's the goats.
Well, no, 1 is great. I want like 50.
Well, I mean, I still want to know. Like, I still want to know the.
With the one who was on the original ship with the
she's on. Well, she's now on the Shenzhou. Still.
Yeah.
She was the one that Burnham was like, don't do shit without me telling you.
Yeah. Number 1, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The thing is, we're still. I appreciate the episodic nature of the show, and it's still. It's still there, but it's not nearly as like, we'll follow like Captain Picard this day.
Yeah.
We'll follow this person the next, and we'll follow Data another. It doesn't do.
We don't have that, and I would like that.
Yeah, it's not serialized? Like
it's not serialized.
Yeah.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not going to happen, and it sucks because there are.
I think eventually going forward into the seasons,
we will get there.
We'll get more and more information about the other because there's episodes that feature other characters.
Yeah.
Because we've had Tilly heavy episodes, we've had Stamets heavy episodes. So
to say that you can't do it is false. Because if you look at a show,
it's not that I'm saying that they can't. These are all secondary characters that play to the major plot. Anyone who doesn't play to the major plot isn't involved. Like
I think they just have.
I don't necessarily mean that. I want to know more about those individual characters. I just want to know who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
Like I just want more information about this. Like to see more of that species.
I don't think we've gotten there yet.
No, I agree. But let's go back to
a show like Grey's Anatomy, where a completely different genre. That being said, it's all about Meredith Grey, but as seasons progressed, you learn way more about Perez and about Bailey and about all these other characters. And true, they've been on for 13 years, so they had the time to do it.
But then there's like ER, which is an ensemble show, but like over the course of it's 12 seasons or whatever there were, you learned about like 50 different characters.
Exactly.
But let's go back and start talking about Tilly again.
Yes.
So, Stamets is in a really weird place right now.
Yes.
Sort of dead, but also not really, but...
He knows that Colbert is dead.
But does he? Because, like
he had the scene. I wanted to cry with him holding his corpse and just crying.
Yeah, just sitting
and,
on the floor
petting his dead body.
It was, so we know that he's at least on some level aware.
Yeah.
He's, like, quasi-aware of, like, surroundings, but also lost in said forest, which looks like I guess the spore forest. We'll call it that.
That was at the end. But before we got there, we had Tilly who was trying to figure out what was wrong with him.
Yes, and Tilly assumed
this is the scene that I was talking about
that
before.
she could take the spores and put the spores in him.
The whole network,
to make his brain work again.
Like the spore network is what needed to complete his brain functions,
right.
Which I mean, in theory, makes sense. But the way she was going about it and talking to Saru and being like, "This is what we need to do. I know this is what's going on."
Yeah, she was a lot stronger in this episode.
And I'm looking forward to seeing more of that going forward.
I want her to keep her kooky vibe with that strength.
Right. Because then later on when it wasn't working and it looked like Stamets. This is one of my questions. Is it looked like Stamets was dead for a bit there because they sent in the other crew to try and the actual medical officers to try and save him, and it wasn't working.
And they used a defibrillator,
they were
defibrillating,
and it just didn't do anything. But
and
then
he woke up.
But then
not really. His body started registering functions again because all her machines started to beep and tweet.
Right. She was like, "Oh, what's happening?"
Well, I mean, with the spores kind of working the magic, I'm guessing there was like a delay reaction to those spores.
I think that there have to be spores in the mirror universe because he met his mirror universe self in the spore forest.
If that's who that was.
He had on the Terran Empire pin.
Oh, see, I didn't see that because I was assuming that it was either like an after echo of him or a Stamets from another universe. Because I was expecting like 2 or 3 more Stamets.
I'm pretty sure it was mirror Stamets because he had on the Terran Empire pin.
That makes sense then.
Dude, now that I know that, I'm kind of interested in what the next episode brings with him in it. Just like.
Well, I think that's how they're good. Somehow that Stamets is going to be their key to getting home again.
Oh,
because he was their
absolutely.
key to getting there in the first place, and all the different jumps. And he's not dead, and he met his mirror self. So there's got to be.
Well, see, I don't know. The thing is, mirror self is supposed to be like some xenophobic-y, racist-y, fuck everyone around me unless they're...
Not necessarily.
No,
not necessarily. Your mirror self doesn't have to be the bad version of you. It's just a different version of you.
No, it has to be the reverse opposite of you, otherwise it wouldn't be the mirror universe. So, in order for him to be the mirror...
But I think if you're looking at these characters, do they actually seem like the reverses of themselves? Because Michael seems very much... What we were told about Michael...
Well,
even though she was missing, so we don't know. But it sounded very similar to who she is.
Well,
it sounded similar.
Up in one of the Star Trek groups earlier this week, and I mean this is just the illogical nature of a mirror universe in general, because there has to be different events that happen to bring people together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about the inconsistent nature of having a mirror universe, where it's like, basically it becomes where it's like a paradox, where it's like, for X to happen, that X also has to happen, but in order for both X's to continue, they're going to cross each other at some point in time.
Right. But like what I'm saying is like, say I had a kid.
Yep.
And the kid, that kid's going to go do something before I have a kid.
I mean, it kind of solves the problem in such a way, but not to a point where it makes sense in this, because at this point we only know that the mirror universe exists as a parallel within the series, right? Right.
Yeah, I mean, we know that there's multiple.
They said that during the episode.
Yeah, but not only that. I mean, we've seen in episodes of Next Generation and Deep Space Nine that
there's multiverses.
There's multiple timelines, there's multiple universes. We've seen like thousands of Enterprises on screen at the same time. I'm just saying, like, that's one of the. It's a suspension of disbelief thing.
Right.
Like you just have to be like.
For us to go, well, it has to be exactly this because everyone's exactly the different.
There's Universe Prime and there's.
It's literally just a break off from the
DC, Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 17.
Right. It's just a simple break off of us being evil instead of good. It's not the exact like mirror of what it's supposed to be.
Even though there are a lot of those tropes.
Sure, no, and don't get me wrong. Like everyone is quotation reverse of themselves, but it's not down to like a T. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say I like chai, and the other guy's gonna say green tea, and then we fight about it or anything, but.
Are chai and green tea really opposites?
How do you know?
I don't, because
Coke and Pepsi. I would be so mad if the mirror universe version of me liked Coke more, or like Pepsi more than Coke.
But in the mirror universe, that would mean that Pepsi was actually good.
Get me out of here!
Lols.
All right, so back to the episode.
Indeed. What else? What else is there to discuss?
Vogue. Oh, the Emperor.
Because everyone talked about it, but and that's actually one thing I wish was more developed, where it's like we get to see her just getting fucked up. We haven't seen any of that yet. Where it's like
we got like 5 minutes of it at the beginning of the episode.
Well, sort of, but like it was more of her like.
It was more of a monologue than it was actual
monologue-y philosophy, kind of like almost numbing feeling of I just gotta do this, I just gotta do.
Yeah.
No, I want her like at that. I want to see her at that breaking point where it's like, holy shit! Like I want the mind fuck. And
I don't know that we're actually really going to get there, because
I think we'll get there when she gets back to Universe Prime. Yeah, I think she's too invested.
As soon as Burnham sees her, she's like, she just popped up and she was like, okay,
I'm back on.
I've got to compose myself. I've got to be this person, not deal with this other shit that I've got to deal with.
Yeah, I guess, but like. When it comes down to it, I'm hoping that they explore more of here's what I'd like to see with her character moving on into the more universe episodes, where basically she doesn't want to leave. The thing is, she's a hear me out.
You think she's gonna want to stay to try and help fix that universe?
Well, no, half of that.
I could buy that.
No,
that's a theory I could buy.
That's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. That's a theory I could buy.
Here's the other half. The thing is. In her universe, she's a mutineer. No one likes her for the most part, except for the people like kind of around her. Here, she's a fucking captain. All her people are still alive,
but she doesn't like what.
And they're all awful fucking people.
Yeah, we know that she doesn't like the thing.
No, you're right. But
she doesn't want to be a warmonger.
We've already talked. She's already talked about like how. She's kind of after 2 days. She's already kind of getting into this, and she doesn't.
She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. She's a fucking warmonger around horrible people.
At the moment, However,
so you want to see her give it to being a warmonger?
No, I want to see her wrestle with the decision of going back to a life of being a mutineer, or a life where she might be able to save like a bunch of people who weren't together before in her universe, and also like be around the people that are now alive that were dead.
Baloney.
Yeah,
that's baloney. Get out of here.
It's kind of like
I don't see it.
Let me ask you a question.
Zip it, Gail.
No. Thought problem 101 here. If you were in a universe like your parents are dead, in this other universe your parents are alive, but different, not necessarily evil, but just different, would you stay there?
No.
I mean, what kind of different? Are they eating
They
the
eat
people
babies?
next door?
Well, let's just say...
Okay, so how bad is it? It's like The Simpsons where Homer goes to that union when Homer travels through the multiverse because he keeps fucking up time and they have lizard tongues?
Yeah, I mean, if it's just lizard tongues, yeah, sure.
Fuck it, I'll deal with it.
There we go.
Yeah, but if they're like...
But if they're eating babies because it's okay in that universe, that's a little bit different.
Bye, baby mom, I don't need you.
How do you know they're not eating babies? Just because they're not eating human babies.
I'm just saying when it comes
cannibalism. They're eating Klingon babies. What kind of person are you?
I guess what I'm saying is the human condition can be moved around. It's very relative. It's not entirely universal.
Well, you know that like people's personalities change like once every 8 years.
Yeah.
Give or take, people change, and over the course of an 8-year period, you are no longer the same person that you were 8 years ago. You could still be a dick if you were a dick 8 years ago. You're just a
dick who likes Pepsi now.
Right? Yeah. You're just a different kind of dick. So I don't see that happening.
Yeah, no.
The only reason I could see her wanting to stay is to make up for her past transgressions. But the problem...
There's not a way for her to really do that and pay that penance because of the warmongering nature of the Terran Empire.
Right, and at the same time, she won't be able to fix those problems in her own home universe, which is what she needs to do.
Fine. Whatever. I want it to happen. I just want to see it. I want to see her wrestle with going back. That's all. That's all.
So back to the Emperor.
Back
to the Emperor.
It was Georgiou.
It was Georgiou.
We called it. I called it.
And it's like kind of badass.
She does, right? That gold trench coat and the knife sword. And the
Dude, she's like, I'm about to fuck your life up. Kinda, you know.
You didn't listen to me. Are you gonna bow to your emperor?
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's literally nothing else to say other than how bad.
No, I really want to see how they're going to get out of this next week because you see that her and Burnham are having a confrontation. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Like when we see them kind of like in this really bomb ass throne room, I guess, where it's like
I'm assuming it's the bridge
that also
or maybe they have like a. I don't know, like a conference room. Like,
well, I mean, if you're the Emperor, you're gonna have a fucking throne on your ship.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's the equivalent of that big room on the Klingon ship that they were in before.
Maybe, and you know, we have Lorca on this ship, we have her on this ship, and man, like you just see, like I feel like this is gonna be like the head point of this plot line, where it's like this is the moment where everything goes down for real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, and that's why I think this is going to be the last episode.
Me too.
This next episode is going to be the last episode in that mirror universe because everything's going to come to a head.
And then you can stop watching.
Well, because it seems like the story,
this story is going to have to wrap up.
Like the mini story arcs that they have in the series are 3 to 4 episodes long.
True.
Okay. Like if you look from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously there's the overall story, but the individual things like the Harry Mudd thing, like you know that was 2 episodes.
So okay, here's a pretty good question about all this. So with them being in the mirror universe, and them coming out of it, they have to take something along. I think that helps them in their overall plot cause. Otherwise, they wouldn't put it here. So, what do you think they're going to take away from the mirror universe that will help them in the Prime universe?
Well, they've got the information on the Defiant, so we know that's going to come back and help them get back. And Burnham has the insight that she got from Mirror Vogue that is telling her how the Klingons think and how he was able to unite all the different species together to work against.
I don't know, the crystal structure or anything of the nature.
The crystalline entity isn't going to show up because they,
no, I don't imagine exactly like crystalline.
Super
bad
possible.
guys.
It is possible.
The Borg are. I don't think the Borg are going to show up.
Well, they can't.
They can.
Well, no, because the first time they were even shown was in TNG.
Yeah.
Where it's like the key was like, oh, you want to see real bad guys?
Yeah, but
we've already seen that the show doesn't give a shit about the first time.
No, but that also doesn't matter. No,
they want to leak canon though.
It doesn't matter because the Borg in First Contact went back to Earth, back in time into the First Contact era, and one of the ships crash landed on Earth and they found it in Enterprise. So Starfleet already knows about the Borg. So there is potential there for the Borg to be a thing because even though it was like the top secret thing, Section 31 or whatever, that no one else really knew it was happening. But it was a thing that was there. Mm-hmm. So there is potential for that to become a thing as just classified information that no one else really knows about. But that being said, I don't think they're going to bring it.
Yeah, no, I don't think it would be the Borg. That being said, I do think that they will give us some sort of canon thing to dangle next season.
Something.
There's whatever the dangler for next season is going to be something canon, I think, to keep us intrigued and keep us, make us want to come back.
Yeah. There's going to have to be a big cliffhanger at the end, because they can't just leave it at oh, okay, all the story seasons, all the season's stories are resolved, so we'll see you guys next season.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. There's gonna be a huge cliffhanger.
Well, the question is it gonna be the Klingon War itself? Because it has to happen, right? The Klingon War has.
They're in the Klingon.
We're in it. Well, it's happening. What are you talking about?
We're in it.
Are we watching the same show?
Yes, no, I'm saying we're in it, but I feel like we're kind of somewhat in the beginning of it.
Do we know how long the Klingon War lasted?
I don't think they've ever addressed that, I don't think they've addressed how long we've been in it in this show.
At least a year.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, there was like 100 years of them where they just kind of disappeared out of hammer space, and then they came back, and now it's like they're back at it again.
Yeah.
So and they're talking about we're gonna lose this war, and at some point in time we have to kind of establish, well, where are you at in this war? At some point in time we have
fighting.
Well, no shit.
In space.
Sometimes on planets.
Well, the thing is, it's either season 2 is going to finally get us to the war itself, or the big bad guy happens. It's one of the two. And
they're in the war. What do you mean get us to the war? They're there. They're already doing it.
Okay, we've seen.
Pew 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 pew.
Yes, I'm saying there hasn't been enough of the war for it to be a decisive plot point at all. It feels like
we have just because we haven't seen giant battles doesn't mean that they're not happening elsewhere. We know why.
Do you remember the first episode when they went on the ship?
Wait. Better question. Why are they in the mirror universe right now?
They're in the mirror universe because they were jumping because they have going back to the starbase because they have the plans to.
Because they're in the war.
They're in the war, you jackass!
I knew that.
Daniel also jumped on it that I want to address. They asked do you think that we need to watch more Star Trek to be able to properly enjoy this show?
No. Actually, I would recommend making it through the rest of this season and then going back and watching some of the previous seasons.
Yeah.
Or if you are enjoying this show,
yeah,
and you want to see more Star Trek, and you kind of want to see more of like Harry Mudd, you can go back and watch those. Because of the way Star Trek works, what I would do is look at all the things that were brought up in this show, like the Mirror Universe, like Harry Mudd, like the Klingons, like everything that we're talking about with the Klingons looking human in the original series. Mm-hmm. Find those episodes and watch them, because the order doesn't so much matter as much as what you're getting out of the stories.
Yeah.
Because like we said,
having watched any other Star Trek will not lessen your enjoyment of this show.
Right. This series itself is very episodic, where one episode you have to watch the episode before to understand what's happening in the next episode. Whereas with previous series, they were all you had to understand Star Trek kind of to understand who the characters were. But you didn't have to understand the previous stories to understand where we are.
I would say
except for DS9 and Voyager.
I would say if this is the only thing that you've watched, I would say watch this,
and
watch Kelvin, J.J. Abrams movies, and then go back to original series. Because I feel like that would that would be a nice bridge in between.
I got this here. Just start from now and just work your way and
that's a lot of watching. It's a lot of watching.
It is. Go backwards.
Yeah, my suggestion would.
So instead of listening to a Trekkie about it, instead of it going the best one here and then it gets suckier from here, start with the ones that suck, whatever, and then it gets better and better.
See, that's why I'm saying to go with the storylines, because then you're watching a little bit of each season.
Yeah.
And because then like
and the bonus of the other shows is that you can pick and choose what you want to watch.
Right. So like if he's enjoying universe stuff and he wants to learn more about the mirror universe, he can go back to where it began in the original series and watch the Tholian Web and the all the mirror episodes. Then he can go back to Enterprise, watch that, which gives us the USS Defiant, which they were talking about in these episodes, and then go forward to the later series.
Dude, it kind of sounds like the Bible, where it's like, oh, I need to learn about forgiveness. Okay, go to this chapter.
Kinda.
I need to learn about sin. Okay, check this chapter. It feels like that way when you explain it.
I mean,
you could do it. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah. Any fandom. All fandoms come from the biggest fandom of all time, Christianity.
God damn it.
I mean, it's like if you were a comic book fan and you really liked the character, oh, I don't know, let's go with some weird character like Mr. Mitzelfling. You're
Mixed Picklix?
Or whatever. You're not
Spitlick.
Like you're going to read the individual episodes of the comic books that have that
Spitlick
feature,
in it,
that feature.
And then Batmite.
You're not necessarily going to read the entire series that one comic was in.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I like the Mark with the Mouth series. Deadpool guys.
Yeah.
I know who Deadpool is.
I'm going to read the storyline, the lines that Cable sent because you want to.
Well, no. There was the answer.
That's my point. That's my point.
I just like watching Star Trek no matter what. So
final thoughts about this episode.
Final thoughts, but I liked it. I really liked it. I'm going to give this episode a warp factor 9.
We're at 10, right?
Out of 10. Transwarp.
You can't go to 10. It's the theoretical.
That's transwarp.
The theoretical limit's 9.8.
9.9.
Is it 9.9? Yeah. So we're going to go up to 10.
The theoretical limit is 10. However, there have been episodes that have featured warp 10 and 11 and 12.
This one goes to 11.
It's not the theoretical.
That's again breaking canon. So that's happening. But we're going out of 10. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 9. I really enjoyed it. I would have liked to see a little bit more of what was going on with Stamets, and a little bit more on the Discovery, and more of Tilly.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll get that more in the next episode. But overall, I thought this was an extremely, extremely well done episode.
I'm going to go with an 8. 8 out of 10. 4 out of 5.
All right.
Really good episode, great pacing, great writing. I just think that it was really hard to come after last week's episode.
Yeah, last week's
episode
hard.
It was a hard act to follow. It was a really hard act to follow. And so that kind of, I don't want to say it lessened my enjoyment of this one, but it did. It wasn't on the same caliber.
I'm gonna give it maximum theoretical. Give it the old 10. But I do. The thing is, how do you? I wonder. Like, there's a lot of oh shit moments in this.
Like I'll talk with.
I went to go see Proud Mary yesterday, and I was talking to the team. Whatever they find from the Defiant, it's not going to help them.
Yeah. I think it's all going to be.
We don't even know where Mir Stamets really is, unless they're on
he's in the spore field.
He's in the spore force.
Well, so I mean, the Mirror Discovery switched with the Prime Discovery. So that's the other thing. I want to know what the fuck's happening.
Right, what the fuck's going on with Mirror Discovery in the Prime Universe?
I can't imagine what's going to happen next when they like cross back over. Like, why are you shooting these guys?
Because like I think that would be an interesting thing to see. Is what I almost wish this season was like 19 episodes, so that the next 3 episodes after this one could be episodes showing us what the Mirror Universe.
Yeah. What was happening in Prime Universe while we're discovering
Yeah. Like I'm honestly really surprised that they haven't been doing any like cutting back and forth and showing us different things between the different universes.
They still might, at least maybe like as a throwaway episode.
I mean, maybe
I think maybe we'll get a little bit of that tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but next week.
Maybe after next week, like maybe that the 2 episodes from now, maybe that episode will kind of give us a fast a fast forward of okay. This is a time lapse. Yeah. This is what's happened with the Mirror Universe in the Prime Universe, while all that other shit was going on. Now that we're caught up,
we
gotta switch back.
Anyway, we should wrap this up. Where can we find you?
You can find me on the internet at lambertra.com. It's my last name, Lambert, with an extra R-A-A at the end, Lambertra.
You can find me on the Twitter at the Goldman. That's the @ symbol and TheGoldman.
You can find me at Slammy Sammy Lock on the Instagram, on Twitter. You can find me at Steam Buddy Productions, where I do comedy stuff. You can find me on Achievement Unlocked, where I do PUBG Thursdays. And you can find me at Season Deliver, where I'm shooting a Star Wars thing. Don't judge me. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure.
Let me make just a couple more plugs. Got to do it.
Oh, God.
Make sure you guys check out that hashtag show. Our sister, brother,
sibling channel.
Mother channel.
The mother channel.
For Power Rangers and wrestling. Riverdale is going to be coming back soon.
DC Marvel.
DC Marvel.
No, DC Marvel is on.
Oh, is it now?
Star Wars
Yeah.
over on Facebook.
If you like Marvel Comics, you can watch me talking about them on Fridays.
Also, if you guys are interested in writing, we are looking for contributors for our website, thathashtagshow.com. You can email me at josh@thathashtagshow.com. That's an easy email address to figure out, so I'm not afraid of giving it away. But hit me up. Let me know that you
You're
saw
gonna get a lot of dick pics
us
tomorrow.
on the Riker maneuver, and that you're interested in possibly writing for our website, and I'll let you know what the details of that are. Now you can shut shit down.
All right. Thank you for watching the Riker maneuver, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back next week with
On the bridge.
On the bridge with the newest episode of looking at what the Emperor's going to be doing and everything of
What's
nature.
it called? Vaulting
Ambition.
Ambition.
Well, I love how they're naming these. I really am.
Yeah, me too.
All right. See you next week, guys.
Thank you for watching us here at Pop Culture Renegades. Later.
Did you really just dab?
I dabbed.
I'll punch you.
So hard.
I'll punch you.
It was so crispy. Just.